Have you ever checked your credit score on a free app, seen a great number like 740, and felt ready to apply for a car loan or a mortgage? But then, when the lender pulls your file, they say your score is actually 680. Suddenly, the interest rate they're offering is way higher. Or worse, you're denied. What just happened? If this sounds familiar, it's because not all credit scores are created equal. The score you can easily see for free might not be the one your lender is looking at. We're going to break down the key differences between the two heavyweights in credit scoring, FICO and VantageScore, and get to the bottom of which one gives a more accurate picture of your creditworthiness. First, let's get to know the main players. Think of it like Ford and Chevrolet. Both are iconic car brands, but they're designed by different companies with their own unique engineering. In one corner, you have FICO, which stands for the 𝐔𝐒𝐅𝐍𝐋 Corporation. They're the originals, having created the first credit scoring systems way back in 1956. For decades, they have been the industry gold standard. In the other corner is VantageScore, the newer player, launched in 2006 by the three major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, as a joint venture. Their mission was to create a more consistent and predictive scoring model. For a long time, the free scores you'd get from popular apps like Credit Karma were your VantageScore. And while that's still common, many banks and even free apps like Experian now also offer free FICO scores. But here's the crucial part. When you go to get a major loan, you'll most likely be judged by a FICO score. So, why can your FICO and VantageScore be so different? Sometimes by a wide margin. It really boils down to three things. First, the length of your credit history. To generate a FICO score, you typically need at least one account that's been open for 6 months. VantageScore is more inclusive. It can often generate a score with just 1 month of credit history. This means VantageScore can score millions of people who might be invisible to FICO, like young people or recent immigrants. Second, they weigh information differently. Both models look at the same core ingredients: your history of paying bills, how much debt you carry, the length of your credit history, the different types of credit you use, and any recent applications for new credit. But the recipe isn't the same. FICO, for example, gives 35% of its weight to payment history and 30% to the amounts you owe. While the exact formula for VantageScore is proprietary, it's known for placing an extremely high influence on payment history, even more than FICO. Finally, they treat certain actions differently, especially when you're shopping for a loan. If you're looking for a mortgage or auto loan, both models are smart enough to group multiple inquiries in a short period into a single event. For mortgages, both FICO and VantageScore now generally use a 45-day window to avoid penalizing you for rate shopping. However, for other types of credit, their deduplication windows can differ, which may lead to slight variations in your score depending on your recent application activity. This is really the core of the issue, and the answer depends entirely on what you mean by accurate. If accurate means better at predicting who will default on a loan, the debate is ongoing. VantageScore argues that its latest models are more predictive, partly because they can incorporate trended data and alternative information like on-time rent and utility payments, which helps people with thinner credit files. On the other hand, FICO presents its own studies showing its newer models like the FICO 10T are significantly more predictive than VantageScore 4.0. But here's the truth that matters most to you. If accurate means the score my lender is actually going to use, then FICO is the clear winner. Over 90% of top U.S. lenders use FICO scores to make their decisions. When you apply for a mortgage, auto loan, or credit card, the number that determines your approval and interest rate is overwhelmingly likely to be a FICO score. In fact, for mortgages, lenders often pull 3 specific older versions of your FICO score, one from each bureau, and use the middle one to make their decision. So, what does this all mean for you in practical terms? It absolutely does not mean you should ignore your VantageScore. It's an excellent free tool for monitoring your general credit health, tracking your progress, and getting alerts about important changes on your report. It lets you know if you're heading in the right direction. However, when you're getting ready for a major financial decision like buying a home, You can't rely only on your Vantage score. You need to know your FICO score. You can often get a FICO score for free through your credit card provider or bank, or you can purchase a full, detailed report from myfico.com. Ultimately, the exact number is less important than the habits that build it. Both FICO and Vantage score are built on the same foundation. If you focus on the fundamentals, paying every single bill on time, keeping credit card balances low, avoiding unnecessary new debt, and checking your credit report for errors, both of your scores will go up. Okay, I have good news for you. You can check your credit score right now in just a few minutes using a trusted credit monitoring service. You'll get access to your full credit report, your FICO score, and real-time alerts for any major changes, all in one place. And the best part? It won't drain your wallet. It's almost free. I've dropped the link in the description. Go check it out before you make your next financial move. While Vantage Score is a valuable and increasingly predictive tool, FICO still reigns supreme in the world of lending. Understanding the difference between them is the key. It moves you from being surprised by a lender's decision to being prepared for it. You're not just a number. You're in control of the financial habits that define it. If you want more practical financial advice that cuts through the noise, make sure to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.